Hi everyone, Draco Prime 220 here, and this video I am actually going to give some attention to a villain we kind of got in the MLP franchise, and that is Zinnea, the antagonist and a futuristic Earth pony with a bad attitude from the second or third special, unfinished special of Tell Your Tale. You know, she was actually a very good villain, you know, but she is like the manager, you know, that production manager, business manager that just wants the money and just says you're only valuable because you have a voice or a talent. But this is where, you know, there was that pony in Friendship is Magic who was the manager to Rara. I think his name was Sven Gallet or something. I can't remember. But I know he was a very hated character. Imagine that pony, but like if that pony was competent, a threat, and could actually not just talk, but back it up with action. Zinnea, I think, was a nice addition to the My Little Pony cast, and I think we got a good roster of villains from, like, Gen 1, Gen 4, Gen 5. I didn't even watch... those are the only 3 generations I've watched. We've gotten so many good villains. Some were very good. Some were like, eh. But I really wish the special that featured Zinnea, at least, was finished. Because I don't know who voiced her, but she was given a very good voice. She sounded elegant, she sounded very sophisticated, but there was that uneasiness, that edge where you're like, you're on your toes. You're like, you're waiting for her to do something. I remember actually seeing a chart of like different models they were going to use for Tell Your Tale, and one of them, I think I heard somewhere where this was going to be like designs for the 3rd season if there was one planned. There was like these different versions of the main 6, different like with slight little differences. There was one actual design that I was like, this kind of looks like a mixture of like Make Your Mark, Tell Your Tale if it was 2D. And I liked it. I think that would have been a nice choice, a nice little upgrade to for a 3rd season. Because it makes me think, if Gen 5 was not canceled, I do think Zinnea would have come back. I really think she would have come back somehow. And I do believe Opaline would have returned. Because in Tell Your Tale, it's a little different. When she gets pulled in by the vines in the tree, she's like, this isn't over, you know. So that was I think that was like kind of foreshadowing at some point, sometime she was gonna come back. My guess is when Twilight finally was gonna reveal herself to all the ponies, that's when possibly Opaline would have made a return, and maybe some weird thing happens where Zinnea comes back. I personally think they would have teamed up, not because they like each other or they're friends, but because they have one goal in common. The main 6 defeated them, and it's because they got a common enemy, and I really think Opaline would be like, you know, I didn't beat them alone, you didn't beat them alone, maybe we should work together. But do I think Opaline would have turned? I think either Opaline would have turned on Zinnea, or Zinnea would have turned on Opaline. Now, that's a fight I actually would have loved to see, if that actually, you know, if Gen 5 continued, Zinnea and Opaline did return. I do know for some point, for a while, I would like to believe they would team up, but then just the thought of, like, you're going to backstab me or I'm going to backstab you would cause them to clash with each other, and I think that would be a fight that I would have loved to have seen. But them teaming up, they would be a problem, because let me tell you, Zinnea's from the future. I don't want to know, like, how much she trained with her Earth Pony magic to make her as formidable as she was. for goodness sake, she took on Sunny without breaking a sweat. It was like flicking her hair and laughing it off like, oh, it's nothing. Then she took on pretty much everyone. And that just tells you how much of a danger she was. And the thing is, you don't see her until, like, the final confrontation. And let me tell you, she's the ultimate party crasher, and not the kind of party crasher you want to crash a party. But you do get, like, little teases of her, like, from Odessa Evensong, and I actually love Odessa's design. I think she was actually one of my favorite designs from Gen 5, along with Zinnea, because Zinnea had, like, this Japanese, like, cyberpunk futuristic aesthetic, which I really liked. And the thing is, we don't see, like I said, you don't see Zinnea until the end, like the confrontation. But you get, like, images of her, and she's always in shadow, she's always in dark. And they make it look like she's a monster, like she's like your worst nightmare. I really wish they did not cancel Gen 5. Because I really think Zinnea, like, if they fully animated that special, Zinnea would have been a nice addition. I could actually see people doing, like, top 10 MLP villains, and I could actually see at least one or two of those lists with Zinnea making at least on the top 10. Just due to her presence and how she is hinted out throughout the show, the episode, and how she is portrayed in the finale. I just have, sometimes I have hopeful thinking that maybe Hasbro will, like, come to their senses and be like, you know, we kind of screwed up. We kind of, since we did connect this with Gen 4, we left a lot of questions unanswered. And we basically, I'm sorry, but the fact that Twilight is alive and comes back, and that pretty much Hasbro knew what they were doing, because I'm going to be honest, throughout the toys really teased Twilight and Sunny meeting each other. There were these 2-packs, these 2 figure packs, like a pack that had Sunny and Twilight in it, and on the box art, you saw Sunny on one side, Twilight on the other. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna meet at some point. And the fact is that Twilight returns, and Hasbro probably knew about this, knew where the story was going, and that they canceled it all because toy sales weren't going the way they wanted to. They basically gave us the biggest middle finger ever. We were done dirty. We were done bad. Look, Gen 4 and Gen 5 and Gen 1 are my top 3 favorite generations of My Little Pony. Gen 6 or whatever the heck they're planning on doing, I don't know yet. We have yet to receive at least an announcement, a trailer, or an image. Look, I get it. The movie's in very early development. I get it. But if you're gonna reveal, like, if you're gonna have an actual show in the works, kind of give us something to chew on for at least a little bit until you actually decide to reveal the trailer. But I've been hearing people saying about fall. That's when we should get some kind of reveal or some sort. And I don't know why people keep saying fall. If anyone in the comments section can let me know why they're saying fall, because I've seen a couple people say fall. One of them was Toby MLP, so I don't know why, but if anyone knows, please let me know. If there's, like, some kind of significance on why a couple people are saying fall, I'd appreciate it. And if you like this video, if you enjoy it, like and subscribe, and join the channel for some more fun. I'll have more content as it comes. But yeah, and the fact is that Owl House, for example, Owl House got wrapped up. Transformers Earthspark got wrapped up, and actually people thought it was canceled. Nope. Several months later, bam, they're revealing, they are wrapping up. Then we hear again they're actually going to be revealing more episodes. I heard that somewhere. I'm like, what? I thought it was over. I don't know what's going on. I know it's not going to happen. It's wishful thinking that that maybe it's a similar thing with Gen 5. Maybe Hasbro's like, you know, We have still a lot of questions not even answered. The biggest thing to come at us was that Twilight was going to return, and no pun intended, we could have gotten everything from the horse's mouth, or I should say the pony's mouth, on what all went down. And once again, we were denied a reunion with Twilight and Spike. And I'll be honest, the only way I see that happening is if someone does a fan animation of it. Unless Hasbro pulls a complete flip and actually says, hey, Gen 5's coming back, we're gonna wrap it up properly, answer some of the important questions at least, and then that's it. Because they did that with Earthspark. I probably it's not gonna happen, it's just hopeful thinking. But yeah, Zinnea is up there with a lot of the villains that I've seen. If Opalina's mother Gothel, Zinnea is Lady Tremaine. Lady Tremaine was such a bitcha. Yeah. And the thing is that she was the most realistic villain in the Disney franchise. Second realist was Frollo, Judge Claude Frollo. And we know why. I'm not going to get into that because if kids see this, yeah. But Lady Tremaine was a very evil, just mean-hearted person, and you could tell she enjoyed what she did. She had this this smug grin, and that hits close to home, because there are people who are actually like that, where they do revel in the control and the breaking of others. And that's honestly how I view Zinnea. She's basically Lady Tremaine. She revels. She has this authority. She revels in the power that she has, and she revels in the control, and she also revels in saying, you're not worth anything unless you have a voice or a talent. And the other thing is her cutie mark. I don't know if anyone noticed, but her cutie mark is like a thorny vine cage with a wilted flower. That's definitely a sign she's evil. I'm sorry, I don't blame Odessa. She was probably young when she met Zinnea, but seeing that cutie mark as you get older, that red flag should start popping up being like, yeah, this is a pony I don't want to be around. This is a pony that is a massive red flag. But Zinnia's story kind of doesn't end there. In the two-part script reading of the two-part script, the Battle for Maritime Bay, Zinnia's magic is still lingering and causing these pods or something to ravage Maritime Bay, targeting the Bright House. And I think that would have been a spectacular if that was animated, because it's due to the description, Zip makes a hurricane or something, her wings are glowing, and all the ponies are showing off their magical skills and powers and abilities. And like Twilight said, magic is growing, changing, evolving, growing stronger. And I think the Battle of Maritime Bay, the two-parter, would have shown that perfectly with all the descriptions in the scripts. Whether or not my hopeful thinking comes to pass, probably not. It's pretty much up to the fans. I do know there's a couple, there's this YouTuber named Drez, who's working on something. He's a purple alicorn with greenish hair, white under his eyes or something. There's this other one called, who used to be under Hawk Nightwing, called MLP Gen 5 Hoof to Heart. So, if my hopeful thinking does not ever come to pass, which probably not, it's up to the fans to continue and wrap up Gen 5 in a nice little bow. But, yeah, there's, nothing's been revealed, and I just hope Hasbro knows what they're doing. They're gonna have to give us something soon, because people who like My Little Pony, or I'm gonna guarantee, are starting to get a little or very impatient. We haven't gotten nothing. Last year was the first year ever we didn't get jack. So I hope they know what they're doing, And I just hope they reveal something soon, like whether it's a concept art, little teaser, or something. Like, anything at this point, I think we'll take. Because right now, the only thing keeping us going are the fans and their content. Once again, I am so sorry to Storm FX3, Magpie Pony, and Lost Narrator. They did not deserve what they've been put through. I am so sorry. If there was more I could do, I would. I don't think it's fair. They've been on YouTube doing this for years. Now, all of a sudden, due to AI garbage, YouTube has a problem. Well, I get over it. People who actually work in how they do the whole YouTube programming stuff, get over yourself. Fix this. But anyway, Zinnea, I'd say she's a 9 out of 10 villain. She's like and the fact that she's an Earth Pony, I really think impresses me more. Just her design, what she looks like, how she is presented. She was actually a nice addition. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. And let's hope and pray we get something My Little Pony related soon. Teaser, concept art, something. I hope Hasbro knows what they're doing. But only time will tell. I know it's a pain in the neck, but we're going to have to be patient and wait. They'll probably drop something and surprise us. That's how some studios work. They just drop something. But until next time, I am Draco Prime 220, signing off.